Take a break from your busy schedule and join Harold Sala for Guidelines, a 5-minute commentary on living.
A young woman wrote to a newspaper columnist asking for advice, saying, "I'm a 19-year-old girl who is getting more and more confused about the word morality. Who decides what is morally right? My parents, society, the law, or should I make the decision myself?" The young woman went on to tell how her parents are divorced, and her mother sleeps with a man who is not her husband. Yet her mother doesn't want her to do the same thing with her boyfriend. The girl signed her letter puzzled. There are a lot of thinking young men and women today who are as puzzled and confused as the college student who says, "Who decides what is morally right? My parents, society, the law, or should I just make the decision myself?" If your son or daughter ask you the same question, what would you say? The first guidelines coming to a child are usually given by parents who say, "Do this, don't do that." But more often it is like, "Don't you do that," or "Don't do that." In a very real sense, parents represent the standard of morality, or in a sense the image of God in the early childhood. But then, as a son or daughter grows older, they, like the young woman who wrote, see inconsistencies between the conduct and the rules laid down by parents. In other words, parents often say one thing, but they do something else. By the same token, laws formulate standards of morality which usually are a reflection of what society believes is right, although this has rapidly changed. Society, as the communal opinion of the average person, does dictate acceptable standards of morality, and usually laws reflect them, though not always. Yet we realize that those standards are often winked at by large segments of people who choose what laws they will keep and what laws they will ignore. Now, does this mean that everybody does that which is right in his own eyes? If your answer is yes, you believe in a moral relativism. That means something may be right for you, but not for your neighbor. There's one problem in a fluctuating standard of morality. If God has spoken, and if he has given direction to humankind, and says this is right and this is wrong, then the opinion of our culture and society, or even what you think is right or wrong, may be in direct violation of God's standard for humankind and for your life. While it may be true that almost everybody is doing it, to use a commonly accepted rationale of behavior, it may well be that God says your behavior is not right. Almost 4,000 years ago, there was a period of time described in the book of Judges in the Bible where there was no law, and everybody did that which was right in his own eyes. It resulted in spiritual and moral collapse. If history repeats itself, it seems that we are on the brink of that today. Arnold Toynbee, the eminent British historian, pointed out that of the last 21 great civilizations, 19 collapsed from within as the result of spiritual and moral decay. To the college student who called herself puzzled, I would like to say, yes, there is a standard of right and wrong, one not laid down by parents, but you find that standard in God's Word, the Bible. This was given not to make us miserable, but to help us find real fulfillment and purpose in life.
You've just heard Dr. Harold Sala with Guidelines, a 5-minute commentary on living. If you would like to listen to the program again, download a copy, subscribe to our e-commentary, or view other resources, visit guidelines.org. We would like to hear from you too. You can email us at info@guidelines.org. That's info@guidelines.org. Thanks for listening, and we invite you to join us again for the next edition of Guidelines.